And how do you think that magic interacts with this fabric of reality in a way to achieve change within it?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Um, I mean, a lot of what people do in magic is to affect change within themselves. You know, to change their attitude, change their perceptions, enhance their own personal abilities. I mean, I'm assuming you have a pretty one-to-one magical link with most of yourself. When it comes to things like parapsychology, psi effects, um, I don't know. There are plenty of ideas being kicked around on that one. People have been kicking ideas on that subject around from the beginning of time, haven't they? To explain the peculiar, as it were, psychic or magical connections which seem to exist between things. I mean, we in the earliest days we seem to have, from what we could tell from the anthropology, and still some existing societies, the animist approach, in which everything was thought to be imbued with something like the consciousness that people subjectively experience in themselves. And then we proceeded to the idea that everything was controlled by spirits, that natural phenomena had spirits in them. And then we proceeded to things like Neoplatonism, in which a whole kind of, as it were, realm of information existed above and beyond the visible physical stuff. Unfortunately, Neoplatonism, I think, tended to mistake the imaginative creations of the mind for things which were probably outside the mind. And then there was more pseudo-scientific attempts to rationalize magic and psi with things like Eliphas Levi's theory of the astral light. At least it was a start. And you got people like Schopenhauer saying, well, you know, it's not all due to spirits and things, it's due to the will or the intent of the operator. And then people started looking at things when radio waves and electromagnetic radiation were discovered. People started thinking, well, you know, maybe that's got something to do with it, despite the fact that if you use electromagnetic radiation to explain psi effects, then you have to wonder how sometimes it works through solid objects through which such radiation won't penetrate. And then we have ideas like Sheldrake's morphic fields, which is again almost a kind of Neoplatonism or idealism. I've been more attracted in recent years, since I retired from business and have achieved a comfortable life in retirement. I've spent quite a bit of time looking at possible explanations for parapsychological effects. The one thing that quantum physics does offer, at least in some interpretations, and at the moment, I think we can safely say that nobody understands quantum physics, as the great quantum physicist Richard Feynman famously observed. There are hundreds of different interpretations of it kicking around, but I particularly like the idea that maybe the waves are truly non-local, in the sense that although they have to travel at light speed, they can also travel backwards in time at light speed as well, which means that effectively the waves form a vast kind of network in the universe, perhaps far more complicated than the physical world of observed particles and atoms, that everything is perhaps conjoined by a vast probabilistic world of waves in which everything is to some extent entangled with everything else. And it may be that, well, we certainly know that by setting up experiments in which you have a choice of what to measure, you can control the outcome. So there may be some explanation there. I'm looking at the transactional interpretation of quantum mechanics and the possibility of time being a little more complex in structure than we currently think. Those are the sort of ideas that I sort of kick around in my retirement. It's a complex and contentious subject. They've just had a big quantum physicist meeting on the island of Heligoland, and all they could do was agree to disagree. So yes, it's a fascinating realm of possibility, that. I mean, a lot of magicians are just happy to go on and use it, whatever, use their techniques and their beliefs to get what they want.